Welcome to the show. It's Wrestling Uncensored tonight. WWE Elimination Chamber participants announced for SmackDown. Big matches coming up at the Chamber. Seth Rollins is back, and we preview NXT Vengeance Day. Wrestling Uncensored starts right now. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. There's my main man, Johnny North. What's up, Johnny?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, your son gave me a stern talking to, said to be nice to you tonight. I said I'll try, so
Yeah,
let's see how well I do it.
that's right. You had a little conference with my son before the show. He said, listen to my daddy, and you better listen to daddy. And that's me. Here I am. We're back. I've been here all week. Feel like I've never left, and I'm happy that we can be here all week, every day, all day. I was here after Raw on Monday, here after Dynamite on Wednesday, and I'm back here Friday night after SmackDown. And Johnny's here too. Johnny is here too, which is nice. Nice to see you, Johnny. I'm not solo tonight.
You're not talking to yourself or the walls, so it's good.
Come on, brother. I wasn't talking to the walls. I was talking to the whole studio audience that we have here, breaking all the COVID rules. We got a whole studio audience behind me, John, behind the camera. You can't see. It's just like normal TV, you know? There's a studio audience. And, of course, we've got the members. We've got the team. We've got everybody in the chat. Shout out to Craig Paquette, who I think might be related to Renee Paquette, of course, of the WWE. Shout out to Craig Paquette, became a new member of the Ringside Report Wrestling Uncensored universe. Shout out to my main man, Wally Byrne, who became a member of the channel. You could become a member on our YouTube channel. You could also become a member somewhere else. You could become a member on the Buy Me a Coffee. Just go to donate.ringsidereport.net to do that. Donate.ringsidereport.net. Become a member. Support the team. Become part of the team. Just like Craig Paquette did. He says hi to Dave and Johnny. What's up, Craig? What's up, Doug Hepburn? I see you, my man, on the chat. Where are the other members on the chat? I think Antoinette was there. I think I saw Antoinette. AJ's there. You know, whatever, AJ. Whatever. AJ will be with me tomorrow night.
Anymore.
No, he's not banned from Twitch. Unfortunately, Twitch hasn't banned him. We'll probably ban him eventually. AJ's going to get banned from the chat. AJ was with me last night here on Ringside Report MMA. We previewed UFC 258, and we'll be back here tomorrow night for the UFC 258 watch-along live at 10 p.m. Eastern. We're here to recap a little SmackDown. I talked about Raw and AEW already this week, John. I was on after the shows. I guess, usually on Wrestling Uncensored, it's like a weekly recap of everything. But now, because we have so many members, because the channel's growing, I'm giving everybody more content. Johnny, not there on Monday, not there on Wednesday. But he's going to join me once in a while for the post-Raw and post-Dynamite shows. Like, not every week, but at some point you'll be on with me. Right, John?
Raw, probably never, but Dynamite, yeah. I could have probably gone on this week, but we didn't really work that out too well, unfortunately.
Oh.
And I wish I did, because there were some things you missed on Dynamite that I wish I would have pointed out to you. But
that's why you're here now. That's why you're here now. And we'll talk about Dynamite. We'll talk about Raw a little bit, get Johnny's thoughts on those shows. But had I known that you could have joined me on Wednesday night, I would have had you on the show. Oh, well. Well, maybe this Wednesday we'll have a little Dave and Johnny live after Dynamite. But we're going to be live after all the shows. All the shows. We've got, of course, Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. I even watched Impact this week, and I almost did a post-Impact show. But
I watched Dark. I didn't watch Impact. Dark was really worth watching. It was pretty good this week. And it would have helped explain a lot of what happened on Dynamite, because I think you were lost in some things, because they actually had some segments on Dark that went with Dynamite.
Oh, yeah? All right. Well, I guess you'll explain to me what I missed or what I didn't understand on Dynamite. Apparently, I missed some things, and Johnny will illuminate us. But I want to start with SmackDown. I want to start with the news that we just saw on the show here tonight. The Elimination Chamber is set. It will be for SmackDown. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Jey Uso, and King Corbin. In the Elimination Chamber, the winner gets a shot at the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. And I think that that's right after the Chamber. They get a title match? Is that what I did I get that right? I feel like I was missing something. But it seemed like that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I think you're right because it wasn't exactly clear.
Right.
Exactly. Like I thought Roman was going to defend in the Chamber, but then he kind of threw it out there where it's like, well, I think it should be like this. But it's like, so that's it? It's going to be like that because he said it should be like this? And that's the way they made it? Like, they didn't exactly concrete say that, but apparently that's the way it is. And it was just kind of really confusing, like, who was actually in the Chamber, because it's like Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, they automatically qualify, but everyone else has to win matches to qualify. That didn't make any sense. And, like, on Raw, they didn't have to qualify at all. So, like, all this didn't make any sense whatsoever, really.
Wasn't it the same for Survivor Series? Didn't we have qualifying matches for one team, but then the other team didn't have to qualify? Wasn't it like the Raw team had to qualify for matches, but the SmackDown team didn't?
I think it was, like, vice versa. I believe, like, the SmackDown women's team had to, but, like,
right.
the men's, like, had to qualify on Raw or something, and the SmackDown men didn't have to.
Okay.
A lot of it's just, like, time constraints, I think. They just, like, ran out of time, I think, with Survivor Series, so they're just like, oh, well, you're on the team now instead, so that's it.
Yeah, you're right. The Raw guys didn't have to qualify for the WWE title match, and there's more on the line because you could actually win the title by being in the match. Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Miz on the Raw side for the Elimination Chamber. But it's Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Corbin, Zayn, Cesaro, Bryan, with the winner receiving Universal title shot later in the night. So I don't think it's immediate. I think what we'll probably wind up seeing is the SmackDown Chamber opening the show, and then Roman versus the winner of that match closing the show. Right?
Or close to the end.
Yeah. You think the Drew McIntyre thing closes?
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's the most exciting match to end with.
I mean, it doesn't really make any kind of sense. Imagine a UFC event where, you know, you have 6 guys fighting each other in like a tournament, and then at the end of the night, the winner faces the world champion who hasn't fought that night. Like, imagine that. They would be shut down for promotional malfeasance. But the WWE, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Right? Like, if you really want to look at it, it doesn't make sense. What promotion would ever allow 6 men to compete in an Elimination Chamber and then go on to face a fresh Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title later in the night? Like, it doesn't really make sense. It's not really fair. But hey, it's pro wrestling, so who cares, right? I kind of think Kevin Owens is going to win the Chamber so that he can go on and face Roman Reigns.
Interesting. Like, to me, they're building up Cesaro, so I feel like maybe Cesaro's going to be the guy.
So he could lose to Roman? You know? Like,
everyone's going to lose.
Well, that's it. Like, I don't know. If you're really building up Cesaro, is it a good move to have him win the Chamber and then just immediately lose to Roman and then get relegated back to kind of mid-level whatever? A feud with Seth Rollins, perhaps, at WrestleMania? You know? I think Kevin Owens makes sense. You know, he's the guy. You just can't put him down. You can't end him. He got cheated out of the win last time in the last man standing match at the last pay-per-view. Kevin Owens has been the guy who just kind of won't go away. So it would make sense to me if he won the Chamber and then went on to face Roman. And, of course, he doesn't win. Roman actually beats him clean, but there's the caveat that, well, you know, Kevin wrestled in Elimination Chamber earlier in the night, so he wasn't fresh. So he loses, but he doesn't look that bad in the process, and then you could put a nice bow on the whole Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens thing. That's what I would do. Give us another Kevin versus Roman match. Because why the hell not? Otherwise, you give us a Cesaro versus Roman match, it's like, come on. Cesaro's being built up, but not anywhere near to the point where you believe he'll beat Roman Reigns. Even a fresh Cesaro, right? Like if they said, oh, it's going to be Cesaro versus Roman one-on-one for the title at the Chamber, everybody would be like, yeah, right. No one would believe it. So a Cesaro who's already won a Chamber going up against Roman is like, come on. I mean, obviously, anybody winning that Chamber going up against Roman for the title is not believable as a winner. Because you know that Roman Reigns is going to go into WrestleMania as the champion. And Edge is going to face him for the title. That's the word. Edge versus Roman for the Universal title at WrestleMania. That seems to be the most likely outcome. It's unfortunate. Because in the meantime, you just have Roman Reigns going through the motions. And you know that none of these guys really have a chance. So why are we watching? Why are we watching? Why are we watching the Elimination Chamber? Why do we care who wins the Elimination Chamber match? We don't care. I think the match could be good, though, and that's really the only saving grace of this whole thing, is you have some tremendous wrestlers in the match. Daniel Bryan, one of the best in the world. Cesaro, ditto. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I mean, those four guys are very good. And then, you know, Jey Uso and King Corbin are in the match, and they kind of bring the whole thing down. But, you know, the other four are pretty damn good. Four of the best wrestlers in the whole world, especially in the WWE. So, yeah. Not bad participants, but as far as match outcome and, like, what does it matter? Not very good. Do you give a shit about this Chamber match?
Well, I was very surprised we're getting this Chamber match to begin with because I thought they'd do the usual, the men get one, the women get one. But they decided not to do that this year, which I thought was very surprising because they usually have that, right? They always have a men's rumble, a women's rumble. Usually there's a men's Hell in a Cell, a women's Hell in a Cell, right? And we're not getting it this year, which is kind of surprising. That they're just going with what they think is like the best story, it seems. Pretty much trying to give us the best match they possibly can. And like when you think about it, they put some of the best wrestlers in this match. So they went for the best match they could possibly give you, which isn't a bad thing.
No, they went for the best match, but the story is not great. The story is predictable, and you know that this match means nothing in the greater arc of the Roman Reigns story, right? It doesn't mean anything. Derek John says, no. Derek John, member of the channel, he says, it's to give an excuse for Kevin Owens to lose to Roman again. Bang on, once again, Derek John. I'm telling you, Derek John, he's got a great wrestling mind. He's a smart guy. He understands pro wrestling. And yes, Derek, with the right opponent, Jey Uso can be good. But I haven't seen him have a good one-on-one match. I mean, even against Daniel Bryan, it was so-so. I think with the right opponents, the Usos are one of the best tag teams possibly of all time. As a singles guy, Jey Uso, he doesn't cut the mustard for me. You know? I don't think anybody was saying, oh, Road Warrior Animal. What a great single star. I mean, nobody was, tripping over themselves to see Road Warrior Animal in a one-on-one. But in a tag team with Hawk, hell yeah. That's kind of how I see Jey Uso. As a singles guy, he's kind of like yeah, okay. But in a tag team, he's one of the greatest ever. That's how I see old Jay.
I understand your view on that, but they don't have Jimmy right now, so they got to give Jay a shot, and I don't mind giving him an opportunity like this.
In the chamber?
It's awesome.
Really? In the chamber? Does he need to be
there? Who else are you going to give it to?
Dominic? I think that would be hilarious to see Dominic and Rey Mysterio in the chamber instead of Corbin and Uso. I would put in Dominic and Rey. I mean, maybe
Wow.
not Dominic. Maybe, okay, forget Dominic because Dominic sucks, obviously. But, like, if you put Ray in that chamber instead of Corbin and, like, Big E or Nakamura, like, could you imagine if this Elimination Chamber was Nakamura, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan? Like, that would be the greatest Elimination Chamber of all time. Then I'd be hyped. Then I'd be like, yeah, it's going to be amazing. There's no chance this is going to suck. But, like, with King Corbin in there, with Jey Uso in there, they're going to slow that shit down. But if you replace them with Shinsuke and Rey, shit would be on. I'm not wrong about that.
Well, I thought Ray and Dominic were going to win, but they didn't go that route, unfortunately. But I also give Dominic a little bit of credit because he took a great dive table bump. I don't know if you saw it on SmackDown tonight. That was pretty ballsy of him to do that. I don't know if he meant to do that, but he did it. And I thought it looked like he was hurt there. So I give him credit for doing stuff like that, taking risks.
What did he do?
You didn't see the dive he did at the outside, and like he pretty much like face planted like on the table.
Okay. I didn't notice. I don't know. When Dominic Mysterio wrestles, I kind of like glaze over. I don't give a shit about that kid. He's terrible. Fucking garbage. Dominic Mysterio. I'm supposed to watch this shit on TV? Come on, man. I'm supposed to pay attention to Dominic Mysterio? I'd rather watch Bad Bunny wrestle. Fuck out of here. Dominic. He's terrible. I mean, maybe one day he'll be good, but now, like, there's too many guys in WWE that are, like, not wrestlers, and I'm supposed to watch them wrestle? Not good. Dominic Mysterio. The only good thing about that match is that Dominic, took a haluva kick from Sami and went down 1-2-3 clean in the middle of the ring. Corbin and Sami qualify for the Elimination Chamber tonight by getting the win over Dominic and Ray. Sami hits his kick, hit a nice little whatever suplex thing in the corner on Dominic. Dominic gets up, haluva kick, drops down, 1-2-3. We're going home, baby. That's it. Easy peasy. An actual clean finish on TV. You know, at least Dominic's there. You know, Dominic is so shitty and not established that he can take clean falls on TV. At least we found a purpose for the kid. He's so shitty that he can actually do jobs without a distraction finish, which like nobody else does in WWE. But you think so little of Dominic, he's such a jobber that he can actually take clean finishes from Sami Zayn, of all people, in the WWE. When's the last time Sami Zayn got a clean win on TV? I'll wait.
I feel like there was still a bit of a cheat though involved, was there not though? Like
No.
I mean, it wasn't completely clean.
It was.
I feel like they did some sort of trickery or something with like an
No.
illegal man came in the ring.
No. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Maybe I missed something because Dominic, but like, I don't know. I think it was clean.
Well, again, because it was a tag match, right? So I just feel like Corbin may have came in and he was illegal. He may have gave Dominic a shot or something, or like broke up a pin. Like it wasn't completely like clean, but like given the sense that you didn't need somebody to actually run into a match for once. I mean, yeah, for that sake, yeah, we didn't see that for once, but I thought in the end, like Dominic looked all right this week. Like I know he's looked kind of awful last couple of weeks, but I think he's actually slowly getting better. Like a lot of guys don't start off great. It happens. It's sad. I mean, if you remember Cody Rhodes' first couple of matches,
Yeah.
even he admits like he shouldn't have been on Raw. He shouldn't have been on TV.
No.
But he got better.
Of course. And that's why I say, and it's exactly Cody who I think about when I say Dominic sucks now, but he could be good in the future. Because when Cody came out on TV, skinny, with Hardcore Holly there as his tag team partner, he looked like shit. And you were like, who is this kid? He will never be anything in professional wrestling. He looks like shit. He's way too young. The only reason he's here is because his last name is Rhodes. And that was true. He was not good. He did not look the part. And the only reason he was on TV was because of his family. But over time, 10, 15 years later, yeah, he's one of the best professional wrestlers in the world today. For sure. It doesn't mean I needed to see him when he sucked. Don't they have developmental? Like, I don't understand. You have guys that are you have fully formed professional wrestlers in your developmental system. You have guys that are way better than a lot of your main roster talent in your developmental system. Yet Dominic Mysterio is on your main roster sucking every week. Learning on the job. Isn't that what NXT's for? I don't get it. The Rock's daughter's not on TV. Imagine how shitty of a wrestler she must be that they haven't even put her on NXT TV yet. Imagine how shit Simone Johnson must be at wrestling that we haven't seen her in a ring yet on WWE TV. She's been with the company, a year? Imagine how shit she is. Like, I just imagine that she's the worst fucking wrestler ever. And the only reason they still have her under contract is because of her dad. Because if she had any talent whatsoever, any talent, she'd be on TV already, right? I mean, right?
Well, I feel like she did suffer an injury early on in her training, so I think that may have set her back a bit.
So she's injury prone too.
You get an injury, it doesn't make you injury prone.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm just saying, they'll fucking throw anybody on TV. They have The Rock's daughter in developmental. You would have thought that they would have fucking shoved her on TV already. They throw Dominic out there.
Well, you're right about that. I mean, if you have a name and if they can, make some money off you right away, they'll definitely run with that because,
fuck it.
Yeah, they can train guys in NXT to wrestle, but the problem is they can't seem to make good characters. That's the problem. These characters that they make in NXT, when they come up to Raw or SmackDown, it's still who the heck are these guys? No offense to Damien Priest, but it's still who the heck are you?
What is Damien Priest? Who is he? He's an archer of some sort? He does archery with fire arrows? Is he Link from fucking Zelda? I don't get it. The only guy that I've ever seen shoot fire arrows is Link from Zelda. And now Damien Priest.
Well, Damien Priest definitely isn't Link. But, this is the thing.
He doesn't have a cool green outfit. Sorry.
Well, Link's changed over time, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that Dominic, they can easily, put him on TV and you can relate to him right away because they're oh, that's Ray's kid. Boom, right away. It's easy to understand who he is.
I don't relate to him.
Damien Priest? Well, you can relate because you just brought up the whole Cody thing. You've lived through this before where it's oh, I have to live with the whole son gimmick now again. You've lived through this. You understand it.
I don't relate. My father's not a multimillionaire professional wrestler, world famous, and I don't have a job in WWE because of my daddy. I don't have a bunch of fucking Louis Vuitton in my closet because my daddy's made millions of dollars breaking his fucking back. I don't have that shit. So I don't relate to Dominic. I'd slap the shit out of Dominic. Fuck Dominic. Fucking pussy. Fucking guy. He's got no muscle. Fucking get on the gas, Dominic. Get on some fucking steroids, bro. You look like shit.
Don't get on the gas. Don't do that.
Gas up, bitch. You look like a pussy. Look at that.
Don't do that.
Come on, baby. I got bigger arms than Dominic Mysterio. That's fucking sad, bro. I'm a guy who talks about wrestling. You're in the ring on SmackDown. Get out of here, Dominic. Get in the fucking gym. Lift some weights. He looks like shit, bro. I want you on the gas. I want you looking like Scott Steiner next year, Dominic. Get on steroids. Fuck it. Get on steroids. It's entertainment. It's not real sports. It's not performance enhancing. It's fucking steroids. Entertainment. It's all cosmetic. You're telling me nobody's on steroids in the WWE? You seen some of these fucking guys? Get out of here, John. Ask Dwayne if he thinks steroids are bad. Fuck. Come on, bro.
Dwayne isn't in WWE, though, so It's not the best
What's the
example
difference?
right now.
What's the difference? Who cares? It's
Look at a lot of
entertainment.
guys.
You're supposed to look the part. I honestly don't give a shit if WWE guys are on steroids. As long as, like, they're not abusing steroids and they're doing it responsibly. Like, I don't know. Some of these guys look so small. Fucking gas up. Dominic. It would help.
Well, you could do it by just going to the gym all the time. That could help a lot as well. I mean, they have the time to do it, right? They only wrestle once a week. So there's almost no excuse for that. And for Dominic, it's going to take time, though. I mean, he's still a kid if you think about it. He's in his early 20s still, so it's going to take time. Like, give him a couple of years, not a year.
How old is he?
I want to say, what, he's 21, 22?
Oh, really? He's that young?
Unlike the rest,
He's
the
23.
rest of the roster, you got to look.
He's
There
23.
you go. He's even older. But look at the rest of the roster. I mean, a lot of the guys are in their 40s now. I mean, most of the guys in the Elimination Chamber on Raw are in their 40s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to get some young guys on the roster here.
But he looks like a child among grown men. That's the problem with Dominic. He looks like a child. At least if he were jacked, you know? I mean, who do you think would win in a fight? Dominic Mysterio or Hook Taz? Taz's Hook son on AEW, that fucking kid that they have. Another boy amongst men. Looks fucking way out of place. Looks shittier than Marco Stunt. You know what I mean? Fucking Hook. That guy shows up with Brian Cage and Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks, and he's supposed to fit in. Even Taz looks more intimidating than him, and Taz is like fat and old, you know? God damn. Hook. I mean, who knows? Maybe Hook's the future of professional wrestling. All I'm telling you is that when I see Hook, I think, I mean, I get why he would run away from Sting. That makes sense, you know? Hook should be scared of Sting. That makes a lot of sense to me. Who wins in a fight, Hook or Dominic?
Well, I've seen Hook actually do a couple of moves, actually, on really? Dark. And I would take Hook, actually, because, like, if he's being trained by Taz, I would take Hook without question. Because, like, they're just teaching Dominic to do, like, Cirque du Soleil stuff. Yeah. Like, with Hook, they're actually teaching him, like, shoot moves.
Who looks more intimidating, Hook or Dominic?
I'd say Hook.
Neither of them look intimidating, though, do they? They look like children.
I mean, they're both not, but, I mean, I take Hook over Dominic. I mean, Dominic, like, not intimidating whatsoever.
What's with these fucking non-intimidating people in wrestling these days? I remember wrestling, there used to be some scary dudes out there. Big, scary, you know? Big, meaty men slapping meat. These days, it's like...
I'll say this, though. Whoa. I'll say this. Arn's kid, like, man, like, he could be something. Like, he looks kind of intimidating, actually, a little bit.
I didn't see him. Did you see that football player guy they signed who looks like Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, some guy, yeah. I saw that Rick Steiner's kid, like, he looks pretty good. Like,
yeah.
They should put him on NXT right away.
I mean, there are guys that are in their early 20s that are jacked to the gills. You know what I mean? Like, just because all the guys that the WWE has in their early 20s are fucking string beans doesn't mean you don't have guys that are young and jacked. It exists. It's always existed. You don't have to be 35 to be jacked. I've seen guys that are like 20 that look huge. When Brock Lesnar was 23 years old, I can tell you he had way more muscle on him than fucking Dominic does. Fucking Ray probably had more muscle at 23. That. Unbelievable.
Well, Brock was also like a two-time NCAA champion, was he not? Like Dominic, like, let's face it, like, that's not him whatsoever.
No, he's not an athlete. So, he's a fucking kid who fucking, you know, lived off his dad's name, and now he's got a job in wrestling living off his dad's name. He's 23 years old. He hasn't accomplished shit. Give him 10 years, maybe he'll be something. Or maybe he won't. You know? He could be Cody Rhodes. He could be David Flair. Right?
Yeah, it's too early to tell, but yeah, it's there. The potential's there either way.
Although, as that guy Conrad Thompson often remarks, say what you want about David Flair, but when he was in WCW, he had sex with Stacy Keibler. So you got to give him his respect, you know?
And that was a shoot, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so, he had shoot sex, not kayfabe sex, real sex. He was in a real relationship with Stacy Keibler, which, like, hey, Stacy Keibler's quite a lady. So good for David Flair. He had a shot at glory back in the WCW days, brother. Okay, Adam Pearce, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jey Uso, they did the whole promo. Could they stop piping in the "you suck" chants when Roman Reigns comes into the fucking arena? Like, we know there's nobody there. We know that they're fake chants. Why fucking do that? It's so fake. It just exposes how fake your shit is. Why would you ever put in "you suck" chants when you see the crowd and the crowd is a fucking screen and they're all just doing this? Nobody's saying "you suck." And you know why they're doing this? Because the WWE guy in their fucking ear is like, okay, everybody, Roman Reigns is coming out. Show him what you think of him. Give him the big boo. And then everybody's like, oh, boo, boo, boo. And the more fucking hard you are with the boo, the more chances you get to fucking be on TV. And that's the whole reason why you're in the fucking Thunderdome, so you can see yourself on TV. Because it's not like you get a fucking great experience. You're just watching the show on TV on your computer like you would fucking normally. It's fucking dumb. And they pipe in "you suck" chants. Fake fucking chants for fake fucking wrestling with Dominic Mysterio and Roman fucking Reigns, who, you know, top guy and all, whatever, big enough guy. But I was thinking about it today, and, like, to me, if you're a top guy, if you're Roman Reigns, is Roman Reigns the smallest top guy that WWE has ever had? Like, he's not a small guy. But, like, you think about the top guys, the, like, Roman Reigns type figures, right? John Cena, Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns. Like, Cena, I think, is roughly the same height as Roman, but I feel like his arms were way bigger. Hogan, fucking gigantic compared to Roman. They build Roman like this big monster. Like, I feel like Roman should be bigger and more muscular for the role that he's in. You know what I mean? Fucking stupid.
Well, you have to look at it like this, too. I mean, you just kind of said the rest of the roster is kind of small. So Roman, the way he looks, I mean, he's gigantic anyway, so he doesn't really need to put on more size because he's already bigger than pretty much everyone else. So
yeah,
he already plays the part pretty well. And his promos, I mean, he's probably doing some of the best promo work right now in WWE he's ever done. So this could be his best run, really, if you think about it.
Was it a good promo tonight? I'm the sun here. Everything orbits around me. Edge knows I'm the real main event. Adam Pearce, you have no authority over me. I call the shots around here. Like, I don't know. Everybody's fucking getting all excited about Roman Reigns and his great character and his great promos. And, like, I see it, and, I mean, he's doing it. Like, he plays the part. But I'm not really interested in it. I'm not really entertained. I don't give a shit. And when he starts going on and on, I just kind of... I'm bored. He's boring me.
Well, let's be fair. I don't think you really liked Roman in the beginning anyway. So the fact that now he's finally changed what people finally wanted him to do... And it's like, well, okay, he's better. You admit that, but it's still something you don't want anyways. So no matter what Roman does, I don't think you'd like it anyways.
I don't know. I mean, there are points where I don't completely dislike him, but, like, I don't think he's bad, but I don't think that he's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I see people comment about Roman Reigns like, oh, my God, what a great heel character and what a promo. And I'm like, I don't know. He seems to be saying the same shit every week. Who fucking cares? Like, I don't know, man. Am I missing something? Like, okay, he's delivering his lines. He's a dick. He's self-centered. He's the champion. And, like, I get it. But I don't know, man. It feels like JBL. Like, I feel like Roman Reigns is about as good a heel character as JBL was when he was a champion on SmackDown. Like, he's good. He's filling that role. He's a heel. He's saying heel things. He's an asshole. But it's like a B story, you know? It's like not... It's not hot. Do you give a shit about what Roman Reigns is going to do at Elimination Chamber? Do you give a shit about what Roman Reigns does week in and week out? I just kind of want to see him wrestle Edge and see what they do with him at Mania. I thought the best thing Roman said tonight was like, I'm champion until I decide to not be champion. I'm not going to drop the belt until I fucking decide I will. And I was like, oh, okay. It's pretty shooty, but should you be saying that on TV? Like, I don't know, man. I see what Roman does, and it's fine. But is it great? No. It's not great. It's passable.
Well, I understand. Like, that's just the way you feel about Roman. I kind of like that kind of stuff where he does those little shooty things. Like, he has that T-shirt that says, show up and win. Like, a lot of that is just like you believe it because it really is true when you think about it with Roman. He just has to show up, and yeah, he's just going to win anyway. So there's no real true competition. Roman's just the guy. It doesn't matter what he does. He's just going to win all the time. And a lot of his stuff, like, you come off that he's a jerk. Like, in a sense, he's just saying what he actually feels in a lot of ways. He's not really the bad guy in a sense. He is the top guy in wrestling. Mm-hmm. And he's just telling you that's just the way it is. If you don't like it, too bad. And it's because of his family. And you have to respect him because he's the head guy right now.
Are you Paul Heyman or something, John? What's going on here? You're like, you have to respect him. He's the head of the table.
I possibly drank the Kool-Aid or something, but
did you?
A lot of what he says makes sense.
Yeah,
like I don't feel Roman's the bad guy.
I mean, I feel like he's the bad guy for sure, and I get it, and he's a top guy, and but I'm not interested. I'm not interested. The only thing that I'm interested in is, like, will the WWE take the belt off him at Mania and give it to Edge, or are they going to stick with Roman? I don't know. Antoinette is a big Roman Reigns fan. She says, only watch the show for Roman, but she likes him better as a face. Derek John says, I feel that it's Roman versus Edge at Mania. Kevin Owens will help Edge win. That'd be cool. Douglas Hepburn, I think bang on. He says Roman's character is better now, but that doesn't mean it's great. I agree 100%. Bang on, Doug. Exactly. I think Roman is much more entertaining now than he's ever been. But it doesn't mean that he's lighting the world on fire. SmackDown ratings aren't jumping up. He's not hot. You know what I mean? There's no buzz with Roman Reigns. He's going out there and doing a passable job as world champion. I'm sick of these WWE champions doing passable jobs. Like Drew McIntyre goes out and he's okay. Roman Reigns goes out and he's fine. But is anybody fire? Is anybody getting you excited and hyped? No. Shout out to Craig Paquette, who became a new member of the channel tonight. And I joked. I was like, oh, Craig Paquette, maybe he's related to Renee. He says Renee is his cousin. Renee Paquette, formerly Renee Young of the WWE, currently, I think, pregnant with Jon Moxley's child. So congratulations to the whole Paquette family. Craig, say hi to your cousin for us. Ask her if she'll come on the show. Right? I'd have Renee on the show.
What? I think she's back in WWE. Is
she?
She did she did the backstage thing, so there's definitely not going to happen then if that's the case.
All right, well, maybe, Craig, you could get your cousin to get her husband on the show. You know what I mean?
That's more likely, yes.
That would be fun. John Moxley on the show. I would call him Moxley. So they call him in Japan. I love that. I love it. The first time they announced him in Japan, John Moxley, and I was like, Moxley. Yeah, I like that better. Moxley. We'll talk about Moxley later. Fantastic. Okay, so Roman, not lighting the world on fire. Fake crowd chants. You suck. It's fucking dumb. And somehow the winner of the Elimination Chamber faces Roman Reigns. Great. Sami and Corbin beat Dominic and Rey. They qualify for the Chamber. The Dirty Dogs, they want a shot in the chamber, so it's going to be the Dirty Dogs, who are Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They lost to Daniel Bryan and Cesaro in the main event. Cesaro with the sharpshooter on Ziggler to get the submission victory for the team. Bryan and Cesaro advanced to the Elimination Chamber. All the chamber participants were brawling at the end of the show. Kevin Owens showed up. He cleaned house. KO stands tall at the end of SmackDown tonight. Seth Rollins returned. He says he's changed, and being a father has changed him. And then he just kind of went on doing the same shit that he was doing before he left. He says he's back to be the great leader and push SmackDown into the future and da-da-da. Same shit. Everybody was ringside for his return, like Bayley and Bianca and Daniel Bryan and Cesaro and even Buddy Murphy was there. And I was like, oh, is there going to be something? Because they completely forgot about the Buddy Murphy Aaliyah storyline, right? Now Buddy Murphy's just like there. So Seth goes on, and it's really boring. And then everybody leaves, and the lights come on, and Seth realizes that everybody's gone except Cesaro, and he's like, oh, Cesaro, I knew you would see the light. You know what I'm saying, Cesaro. You're going to follow me as their leader of SmackDown. And Cesaro's like, nah. And Cesaro walks away, and then Seth attacks him, and then referees try to stop them, and Daniel Bryan runs Seth off, and that was Seth's return. Same old Seth. Nothing new. Nothing changed, except he wore a leather suit, and that was pretty much it. And he went back to his old music. He didn't come out to the Monday Night Messiah music. He came out to the old Burn It Down music. You know. You know? Burn it down! You know, that one? It's back. I like it. That's my favorite one. You know? I like when New Day, like, headbangs to it. That's the best.
But I feel that was just a throw-off, though, for the promo, where it's like, you thought the old Seth Rollins was coming back, but really it's the Messiah Seth Rollins. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the Messiah music, because that's what he is again.
Why?
You don't get what you want, Dave. That's why you don't get what you want.
I mean, not on SmackDown, apparently. I mean, why? And what? What's the end game for this? Seth versus Cesaro at Mania? For what? Who cares?
I actually feel it's going to be Seth versus Daniel Bryan. I think that's the big WrestleMania match for them, because they've never really had a big WrestleMania match together. So that's what they want to do. So I know you're upset, because you should be very upset, because more than likely Seth Rollins is going to beat Daniel Bryan if that's the case, because Seth Rollins didn't win last year, so he has to win this year.
I'm not upset if this is why they're this is why they're burying Bryan, because he's leaving the company. His contract runs out this year. His contract is up in the summertime. If he's wrestling Seth in a match at Mania and loses, you might not see him in the WWE ever again after WrestleMania. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. After fucking Daniel Bryan lost the fucking Royal Rumble, I'm good with him leaving the company forever. Forever.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stays with the company forever.
You bastard. Douglas Hepburn has a great idea, spin-off show idea. Dave performing entrance music. Yes! I'm into it.
That's an idea. I don't know if it's you want to do that for every entrance, but the certain ones that you like anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I think the ones you don't like, that would be, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Wrestling has more than one first family. da-da, da-da, adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Cody Rhodes. Gonna give them what they came to see. Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go off above. Whoa!
Like
my
doing
father
a duet.
said when I was younger, hard times breed better men, better men. And if it all away to give it all away, you take my freedom. Now you bow to me.
Where's the Snoop Dogg edit?
I don't know that version yet.
Okay.
Bam, ba-dum, bam, ba-dum, bam, bam, bam. Go, push it all out the way. Yes, y'all. Sasha Banks, y'all. Da-da-da, Snoop Dogg, Sasha Banks, y'all. Push it all out the way.
It sounds more like a Creed song the way you sing that, but instead of Snoop Dogg, whatever.
Fucking great idea, man. I would do that. I would do that all day. Fucking performing entrance songs. I love it.
I
Somebody
think you and your
go
son,
get
actually.
their ass whipped. Somebody go get their wig split. Beat him up. Break his neck.
I always thought it sounded like someone's going to get their dick licked, but okay.
Oh, disgusting. What are you talking about?
Did it not, honestly, did it not sound like that? It definitely sounded like that.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Something dun.
You gotta take a stand and don't have to hide. All right. We're good. What else do we got? Bayley beat Liv Morgan. Yeah. Should always happen. I mean, the fact that it was even close. The fact that Liv Morgan got any offense at all was like, what? What is this?
Liv did a great jump off the steps and face planted on the barricade. That was pretty good. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah.
You saw Liv was really trying. Yeah, Liv was really trying, and she does all the time.
Yeah, but it's just come on, really? Liv Morgan versus Bayley? I wonder who's going to win this shit. And then Bayley won. The only reason she won was because Billie Kay was giving headshots to Ruby Riott, who was ringside, and then Ruby threw the headshots in the ring, and that distracted the ref, so Bayley was able to rake the eyes of Liv Morgan and then hit her finisher for the 1-2-3. So still a cheating finish. Street Profits were at NASCAR. We had to watch that for some reason. Sasha Banks is going to be at NASCAR this weekend. It's on Fox. SmackDown's on Fox. Just network tie-over that we had to sit through. Street Profits beat Gable and Otis. It's all right. But, Gable and Otis, usually when you form a new tag team, you give them a couple wins to make them, believable. These guys formed as a tag team and have just lost everything since. Fucking losers. No reason to believe in these guys, even though I was really hoping they'd beat Street Profits tonight, because I like Gable and Otis a lot. Gable and Otis are two guys that bring something to the table that very few professional wrestlers bring these days, and that's a legitimate amateur wrestling background. Legit. These two guys are as legit as they fucking come in the WWE, and the WWE treats them like fucking jobbers. In a real fight, fucking Montez or the other guy would get smashed by Chad Gable. Absolutely fucking embarrassed. Let alone what Otis would do to them. Otis would eat those guys alive. Otis would fucking eat up most of the WWE roster in a real fight. And you look at him and you think, really? The guy was a legitimate NCAA wrestler. Chad Gable went to the fucking Olympics. You don't go to the Olympics for wrestling unless you're a badass. These two guys are legitimate badasses. I don't know about Montez Ford's credentials, but when I see him, I don't think badass. I think fucking guy who won't stop singing. Are you ready? Shut the fuck up! Your fucking little cups and your stupid little glasses and your shitty hair. You suck. Fucking Montez was a little singing. Like, his splash is good. Everything else he fucking does sucks. Absolutely sucks. Montez. You know, I don't know what his fucking background is. I really don't. But, I mean, I know he didn't go to the Olympics for wrestling, so I don't want to see him ever fucking beat Gable and Otis. But, hey, it's the WWE, so that shit's going to happen. Stop fucking singing, though. Stop fucking singing. Angelo Dawkins, whatever his fucking name is, I got no real problem with him. He's all right. But Montez is, like, annoying.
Well, if I remember correctly, they said he's some type of athlete. I don't know if he was like a track athlete or something, but he had some sort of like background in that. Maybe just a runner or something. But regardless, like, it doesn't matter that he's still a great athlete and he can do some amazing things in that ring. It's just he's not as polished as some of the other wrestlers. I think Gable obviously is a better wrestler, but as we've seen in WWE, it's not about who's the best wrestler, it's who's the best entertainer. And let's face it, the Street Profits, it's one of their top acts in the tag team division. So they're going to push that like crazy.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I get it. But I don't find them that entertaining. A lot of these guys are supposed to be entertaining. They're not. Are the Street Profits entertaining you? Have they entertained you? Are they funny? I don't know. I don't get it, man. They're not funny. They're not entertaining. They're not good.
I find there's been more misses than hits, but it hasn't been all bad. I've seen some moments where, you know, there's been some very good matches. I remember a couple matches or a couple moments against the Viking Raiders. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And when they won the tag team titles too, that was a pretty good match. I mean, they have moments where it's good. It's just the fact that they try to push it like crazy. They over push it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the whole thing with Roman Reigns, where it's like he wasn't ready for that top spot, but it didn't matter. They were going to push him to that top spot anyways. And it's kind of like that with the Street Profits. They want to put him in that top spot in the tag team division over the New Day. And I think that's what really has upsetted you, is the fact that you like the New Day a lot. And the fact that they put the Street Profits over the New Day, say that they're a better tag team than the New Day, I don't think you take that very well.
I mean, that didn't make a lot of sense to me, but I kind of forgot about that at this point. It's just that, I don't know, I see a lot of the Street Profits, and I haven't forgot about their whole series with the Viking Raiders. That's really, I'm not, like, over that. Because they couldn't make that work at all. It was so bad that it's hard for me to ever forgive them for that. You know? Like, they try to use these guys and give them promo time, and they get so much promo time, and I don't think I've seen one promo that I've been like, oh, that's good. That was a good promo. That's entertaining. That was funny. I don't think there's been one instance that I've enjoyed their promos. In the ring, I think they're pretty good. They're fine. But, like, they talk more than they wrestle, and I don't like that. I don't like their talking. I don't like their promos. I don't think they're very good. But some people like them, so whatever, you know? It is what it is. It's not for me. I mean, a lot of the people on this show can't really cut a promo. Sasha Banks came in and struggled through her promo, called Bianca Belair a big little sister. She says she likes Bianca, and she wants to be her choice for Mania. Bianca shows up, and she's like, I like you too, Sasha. And then Nia and Shayna show up. Right? And then Nia says she doesn't care who Bianca's going to choose for Mania. And then they play footage of Shayna losing to Naomi on Raw. And then they play the footage of Nia getting dropped on the apron in her match with Lana and saying, my hole. Which was a big thing on Raw. Everybody's talking about it. Nia Jax fell on the ring apron butt first. And she said, ow, my hole. Talking about her butthole, I guess. But that became a big thing over the past week. And this just shows you the mind of a lot of wrestling fans, right? Pretty juvenile. A grown woman says, my hole. And like the whole wrestling world's like, oh my God, I can't believe she said my hole on fucking TV. Like, yeah. She said it. Did she mean to say it? I don't know. Was she told to say it? I don't know. But the WWE is enjoying it because they played the footage where you could clearly say her say my hole, and it felt like they upped the audio on it. Because on Raw, it wasn't that clear. And then on SmackDown, it was like, oh, yeah, it was clearly what she said there. And then, of course, Nia and Shayna attack Sasha and Bianca. And Sasha takes Shayna down. And then Bianca and Sasha work together to take Nia and drop her ass first on the apron. And she looked like she was trying to say something, but she never got the words out. So at least she's not going to be saying my hole every fucking show. But I'm pretty sure Nia Jax was just on SmackDown tonight because of the buzz she got from saying my hole on Raw this week, which I guess that's where we're at in the WWE. Grown woman says my hole on fucking TV, and that's what we like to watch. This is what we want to see replayed over and over again. Because that's the best shit that WWE could offer us? Is this as good as it gets? Like, I don't know, man. Is that the best thing WWE did all week? Nia Jax falling on her ass saying my hole? Seems like it. It's all anybody was fucking talking about. What the fuck?
I like to think not. I don't know if you noticed earlier on in that promo, like when Bianca was holding the microphone, it kind of looked like she was flipping off Sasha because, like, she switched the microphone and she was, like, pointing at the same time and, like, she had her middle finger going like that. So it kind of looked like a flip off a bit.
Nah.
But no one talks about that. The whole thing apparently is the big thing in wrestling. And I think the real reason like it caught on because that match with Lana was nothing great whatsoever. Like, it wasn't a good match. And I think people were just looking for something to get excited about. And I don't know if Nia did that on purpose or not. I think it was her just trying to take advantage of a situation where it's like she has to sell something and it's going to lead to the ending. So I think she, added something. She had that line, and it was to help put over the fact that she was hurt, and then she would go through the table later on, right? So I think that's what happened. It's just I don't think she planned for it to catch on the way that it did, but it did, and WWE's just going to take advantage of that.
Ugh. They couldn't just let it be a one-time thing, They had to do it on SmackDown again, right? She had to take a butt bump on the apron. She's going to take another one on Raw. 100% she's taking another butt bump on Raw. Fucking stupid. Just shows you how fake this shit is. Right? Nia takes an ass bump on Raw. She says my hole. Everybody goes bananas. And then on SmackDown, oh, lo and behold, she takes another fucking butt bump on the apron. How did fucking Sasha and Bianca manage that? Because it's a spot and it's fucking fake. It just exposes everything, So stupid. Fuck.
Well, this just goes to show you, man, social media, the control of social media, the fact that something like this catches on and WWE just jumps on it. That's the whole thing, man. That's how you get over in wrestling now. It's not about having like 5-star matches. It's about what people are talking about on social media. People are talking about that on social media. We got to give them more of that. That's what WWE's agenda is right now.
It really is. It's a fucking popularity contest on fucking Twitter. It's not about who's doing the best work. It's about who's fucking getting over on Twitter. Fucking weird. Everybody's mad about Bad Bunny. Explain to me why Bad Bunny's with Damien Priest. Because they're both Puerto Rican?
Well, I showed you that picture of Damien Priest. Damien Priest likes to party, and I guess Bad Bunny likes to party too, right? So
okay.
That was what my guess was. They haven't really exposed that of Damien Priest's character, but it's in his character that he likes to party.
Okay. They don't really fit, though, because Damien Priest got that weird Undertaker-type vibe going, and Bad Bunny's like a party rapper guy. It's a strange pairing. And to me, the only thing that's linking them together is that they both Puerto Rican. But to me, if you're trying to just link Bad Bunny up with a Puerto Rican guy, wouldn't you put him up with Carlito, who's like, Puerto Rican, and his dad happens to be Carlos Colon, the king of Puerto Rican wrestling, I feel like that would be a better association, but they're trying to get Damien Priest over, so I guess not. I don't know. It's fucking dumb.
Did we even see Carlito this week? I don't feel like he was on Raw this week.
No, he wasn't. We saw Keith Lee. Keith Lee's getting married to Reckoning, right? Mia Yim?
Yeah, congrats. That's great. That's great news.
Yeah, nice engagement story there this week, seeing Keith Lee and Mia Yim, a.k.a. Reckoning of the Retribution thing. I didn't know there were a couple, and they're engaged to get married, so congratulations to them. Did the WWE release somebody because he got COVID?
Steve Cutler, yeah, one of the Baron Corbin's knights, yeah.
Unbelievable. So Corbin had two guys with him a few weeks ago, and they've disappeared. One of the guys was Steve Cutler, and he was released by the WWE quietly last week because he tested positive for COVID. And you would say, well, you can't fire somebody for getting COVID. Well, apparently he got it at a New Year's Eve party, and the WWE, and apparently Vince McMahon, as the story goes, was really pissed. So this guy got fired because he wasn't taking the COVID protocol seriously because, Vince has talent there, top talent, like Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, that he's promised, everything would be safe. And then a guy like Steve Cutler shows up with COVID because he went to a New Year's Eve party. Apparently the New Year's Eve party was hosted by Zack Ryder, now known as Matt Cardona, an Impact Wrestling talent, but also by WWE talent, Zack Ryder's girlfriend, fiance, whatever, Chelsea Green. So Steve Cutler gets COVID at fucking Chelsea Green's party. Steve Cutler gets fired. Chelsea Green still has a job. You following this? Because I'm not.
Oh, it gets better. I mean, look at Ricochet's girlfriend this week.
Yes.
She wrestled on NXT. Yet what she did and that whole that video that came out about her was pretty bad.
Well, go further on this. So Ricochet's girlfriend, Casey Catanzaro, who wrestles in NXT, she was at a very crowded restaurant with a bunch of her friends, and none of them were wearing masks, right? That was one thing. And there was also a video of her telling everybody to wear a mask and avoid public situations and everything, and then you cut to her, and she's out and about, no mask, a bunch of people. Highly risky, very, very risky behavior. But then there was something else that she did, right? One of the women that was with her at the restaurant was also one of the rioters at the Capitol when they had the insurrection deal in Washington, D.C.
I didn't catch that. I just caught the fact that she said she only goes out for essential things. That's it. If to get groceries or something. And then I saw that video cut to her at the bar. So apparently the bar, that's essential.
Apparently one of her friends that she's with that at the bar in that picture was also at the Capitol riots and was one of those people.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. It gets better and better, this story. Wow.
I mean, there are stories out there in wrestling. Did you hear the one about I think she's a congresswoman who her mother, apparently old Facebook posts have been unearthed, and some congresswoman, Lauren Boebert, there's a story about her where apparently her mother, this might not be a real story, but her mother is saying that Stan Lane, former professional wrestler Stan Lane, is this congresswoman's father who's never claimed her. And the mother is like, Stan Lane, you should claim your daughter, da-da-da. By the way, I'm Stan Lane's first cousin. So you're like, huh? So apparently there's a congresswoman who's a QAnon Republican, one of those, pretty fringe, whose father is Stan Lane and whose mother is Stan Lane's first cousin. So her parents may be first cousins and her dad may be Stan Lane, but none of this has been, confirmed. So this is all alleged. This is all rumor. I don't know if it's real. But those are rumors going around the internet these days. All sorts of crazy shit is happening. Crazy shit continuously happening. It gets better, though, because that Steve Cutler guy, He got it at the New Year's Eve party hosted by Chelsea Green and Zack Ryder. But isn't Steve Cutler the boyfriend of Impact Wrestling Women's Champion Deonna Purrazzo?
And she got COVID as well.
Did she?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It just gets better, yeah. Better and better. Needless to say, wear a mask and social distancing. Even though Florida, apparently, they don't do that.
Man. I don't know who this... There's some weird guy on the chat.
There's a weird guy at close to midnight? How surprising.
Oh, my God. There's some weird guys on Squish on Twitch here. Weird guys.
Is it long? It sounds like it's very long.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit. Some weird fucking guys. Hey, you fucking weird guy. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You fucking weirdo. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're getting rid of him, I think. Or did I? I don't know. God damn, there's some weird people out there. You know, you open yourself up, you put the show out there, and you never know what kind of weird fucks are going to show up asking all sorts of weird questions, saying all sorts of weird shit. Hidden behind little fucking names on the internet, fucking fake names and no real faces. You know what I mean? A lot of pussies out there with no fucking... You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot...
I'll take your word for it.
I don't know. There's just a lot of silly bitches out there who fucking say dumb shit, and you're like, what? Why are you... Why? Like, what's going on with you? Are you all right? So what did I miss on it's fine. Keep going. What did I miss on AEW Dynamite? You told me I missed some shit. What did I miss? I saw the whole show. Did I miss something with the Sammy Guevara MJF fucking promo? Because that shit was dumb, man. Sammy Guevara's like, okay, cameraman, you could film this. And then when MJF is recording the fucking thing on his phone, he gets mad at MJF because he's recording. He's recording the audio of their fucking private conversation that he told the cameraman at the beginning of the segment that he could fucking film. What? The hell was that?
Well, you've seen people get mad at me for filming people when they're in public places that have cameras, and they get mad at me for filming. People just get mad like that, you know. Now, is Sammy Guevara in the right? I don't think so, but it is appropriate. People get mad. Heel. It happens.
Yes.
Yeah, he is the heel. I agree, but like people do get mad. It's ridiculous, but people do get mad if you record them, even though they're already being recorded anyways. It's just a thing, unfortunately, the way it is now.
It makes no sense. That made no sense. That was dumb. That was a really dumb. That was a dumb segment. I thought Dynamite this week was okay. You know, I recapped it. You could watch my Dynamite recap right now on the channel. It's up there. My Raw recap as well. We went in depth for Raw and Dynamite. But I didn't think it was the best show. I didn't like the main event. I thought the main event was just, you're hitting each other with potatoes and boxes of potatoes and all sorts of bullshit like that. Like, come on, man. At one point, when Jon Moxley's fucking chasing Kenny Omega with a sweet potato, using it like a weapon, I'm like, all right, you lost me. I'm done. Did you like it? What did you think?
You don't like a Kenny Omega match? I'm like blown away by this. I know how much you love Kenny Omega, and like you didn't like one of his matches. That's crazy. And like you've been pushing this like crazy, like the whole like you want New Japan to come to AEW, and you finally get it, and like you're crapping on the match. I'm blown away by this right now.
Well, I know you don't watch a lot of New Japan, but in New Japan, they don't do gimmick matches. They don't. There's no garbage cans. There's no fucking ladders. Maybe you'll see a table once in a while. They'll hit each other with a steel chair. They'll throw each other into the barricades. But, a hardcore match with fucking potatoes, literal potatoes, ladders, trash cans, all that shit doesn't happen in New Japan. If this was a straight-up wrestling match, Kenny and Kenta versus Moxley and Archer, would have been good. But what we got, this fucking shit show where they're in the kitchen throwing potatoes at each other, like, That's not what I tune into wrestling for. That's not what I watch Kenny Omega for. Like, I like Kenny Omega when he's in there with, like, an Okada and he's having fucking kick-ass matches. He's in there with Pac and he's really wrestling and they're doing the damn thing. But when Kenny's doing his, like, ECW-style wrestling, I don't really... Like, I think he can do it well, but this was not done well. Because, you know, the hardcore wrestling is one thing. Like, I like a good hardcore match that's, like, violent and intense. Like Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns at TLC. Hardcore match, violent and intense. This was a hardcore match with elements of violence, but a lot of comedy thrown in there, too. Don't give me a hardcore match that's also a joke. Don't give me something that's supposed to be ultra violent, but also, like, kind of tongue-in-cheek, and we're, like, laughing at it. Like, isn't this funny? We're hitting each other with potatoes. Isn't that funny? You know what I mean? I don't want to see that shit. Give me a hardcore match where guys are in trouble, they're in jeopardy, they're going to get hit with some shit, and you're like, oh, my God, he's going to die. Give me that. Don't give me the, like, ha, 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 I hit him with a potato. You know? Don't give me the jokes. Give me the real violence. And this was not violent. This was not a violent match. There were a couple spots that were okay, but overall, not violent.
Well, I like Jake getting involved. I thought that was kind of cool. And the fact that it looked like he was going to take a V-trigger, and then the fact that Moxley had to come in and save him. Like, I thought that was a good moment. It had moments where I'm like, this is interesting, but like you said, it got taken away from you in a sense because you got lost in the fact that it became a joke. So that was a problem, but unfortunately that's the way they book a lot of their matches, where, you know, it's all kind of a joke in a sense. So it's too bad, but that's the way it is in AEW though.
Not always, but sometimes it is, and they need to stop. Like, they'd be better off without that little comedy shit. And I feel like they can't have a Falls Count Anywhere match without making it a joke. Have they had a single fucking one of those matches that wasn't a joke? Maybe the Best Friends against the Proud and Powerful, but even then I feel like probably a comedy spot there.
No, I thought that was pretty serious. There's they were all cut up and everything. Like,
yeah.
that looked pretty serious, yeah.
So that's the only one.
Maybe you could say, like, when the mom did the flip up, you know, flip the bird at the end, like, you could say that. You could say that was somewhat comedy, but it was also actually appropriate in a sense, you know.
I think the best, most violent hardcore match that Impact. See, I mean, this is where we're going. AEW, be careful, be careful. You're turning into Impact. When I start calling,
Don Callis was on commentary,
right? I mean, the stars are kind of interchangeable at this point. Be careful, AEW. You're going to turn into Impact if you're not careful. Seriously, it's not good. But I feel like the only hardcore match that I've seen in AEW that's been good was a Sammy Guevara-Matt Hardy match, and the only reason it was good is because Matt Hardy almost died. There was real stakes, real violence, real, like, oh shit, did he die? And that wasn't supposed to happen. But that's the only one that's been good. Sorry, what was I saying? Good stuff about Impact?
Well, I was going to say the bunkhouse match they had, I think it was Dustin and QT, against the Butcher and the Blade. I thought that was a good hardcore match.
Yeah, that was good. But that was they kept it in the ring. As soon as they fucking go backstage, forget about it. It's over. As soon as AEW gets out of the arena, they fucking lose me. Stadium Stampede, all that comedy shit, it's not for me. It's not for me. I know people like it, but I don't. Not at all. So what did I miss?
What else? The Matt Hardy Hangman Page. Like you said, Hangman just, like, signed the contract. That was it. Like, you missed the fact that Hangman switched the contracts. Like, when Matt Hardy went to go talk to the cameraman, Hangman switched the contracts. So he signed the contract, but really Matt Hardy signed Hangman's contract. So I think what's going to happen is Hangman now owns Matt Hardy.
Oh. See, I thought Hangman was drunk. I missed that. Because when Matt Hardy went to the camera, I was, like, looking at Matt Hardy. I wasn't looking at what Hangman was doing. Oh, right. So Hangman isn't owned by Matt Hardy Maybe Hangman pulled the old switcheroo on Matt Hardy. Maybe Hangman now owns Private Party, and he gets a percentage of their money, not Matt Hardy. Who knows? Okay, so Hangman versus Matt Hardy maybe at the next pay-per-view? Like, where are we headed?
That's a good question. I feel like because they had the Dark Order there that eventually Hangman's going to become like the leader of the Dark Order. But I don't know when that will happen exactly.
I don't think you will.
Well, it feels like the Dark Order's just lost right now. Like it feels like they're around, but they don't know what to do, kind of thing. I feel like they almost need Hangman to lead them.
They got Johnny Hungy. What do they need anybody for? They got Johnny fucking Hungy, the most over guy in all of wrestling right now. Not enough Dark Order this week. Like I said it on the show on Wednesday night after Dynamite or. Dynamite. Not enough Dark Order. Like, Johnny Hungy is very funny, and I don't see anywhere near enough of him. For as over as he is, AEW is not using him nearly enough. I see way too much Kip Sabian and not enough Johnny Hungy. Way too much Kip Sabian. Now, granted, Kip comes with Penelope, so that's okay, but, like, goddamn, man. It's enough. And Miro and his shitty promos. Fucking Miro. Somehow I liked Rusev better than Miro. I really didn't think that would happen, but AEW has not done well with Miro. Doesn't help that he's with Kip Sabian, but god damn.
Well, I think there's still a lot of potential with Miro. I mean, he looks like he's in better shape than he was in WWE, so I think there's a lot you can still do with Miro. I think it's a slow build. You just got to be patient.
Very slow. Very slow. All right. You want to preview this NXT show? You're going to watch this thing on Sunday? Do you give a shit?
I had no plans whatsoever. I didn't realize we were going to actually preview this. Like, I know somewhat about it's happening, but I didn't really put much effort into caring about the matches. I know Finn Balor, Pete Dunne. I mean, that's kind of a good match, and I feel like what is it, Gargano against Kushida. That's about all I really know.
I'll tell you the card, and then we'll give our picks, and we'll see if we want to watch this thing on Sunday. I'm not going to do a post show for this shit because it's NXT, and come on. It's so bad. Johnny Gargano takes on Kushida. Gargano defending the NXT North American title against Kushida. Could be good. I like Kushida. But
yeah, good wrestling match. But
yeah,
that's about it.
Does Kushida win? I don't know. I don't know what their storylines are. I barely watch this show. I catch stuff every now and again. I can't.
Well, they just did the whole thing where they thought the match wasn't going to happen, and then they found out that Gargano was faking his injury, so the match is going to happen. But I feel like, Kushida just barely getting this match. That was pretty much it. I think Gargano's going to steal the win somehow. He has Austin Theory backing him up, so I think that's going to help him in the end.
Right. Austin Theory. That's where he went. He used to be on Raw, that guy. And now he's Johnny Gargano's buddy.
Well, my guess here, is just that, it didn't work out on the main roster. I don't know, it didn't work out with people, had backstage problems or whatever, or they just felt like for his matches and what they wanted to give for him, they just felt he wasn't ready, so they put him back to NXT. Yeah. Not a bad thing. I think, again, a lot of potential with him. It's just, right now wasn't the time for him. But, he still got a WrestleMania match, so, it still was a good idea to give him a shot at least.
He did?
Yeah, he wrestled WrestleMania. He was in that tag match. Remember? Because, what's his name? Charlotte's boyfriend.
Andrade.
Yeah, he got injured.
Right.
So that he took the place, and he teamed up with Angel Garza against the Street Profits.
Huh. Wow, that was a forgettable WrestleMania. I'm going to go with Kushida for the win because, I like Kushida, and I don't know. Who cares? Finn Balor defending the NXT title against Pete Dunne. No. The match could be good. Finn should win. Pete Dunne, come on.
Well, I think it'll be a fantastic match. If it's not the match of the night, I'm going to be very surprised. But yeah, Finn's going to win. Finn's the guy. if anything, they should have Finn go all the way to WrestleMania and defend the title at WrestleMania. Because, like, Finn's a top guy. He should be on the top show.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think he's going to be at WrestleMania. That's 2 nights, though. They do have time, right? They could fit him in. MSK. What the fuck is MSK?
That's they're from Impact.
Oh.
I forget the name of the tag team in Impact. But yeah, they just came from Impact.
Oh, the Radicals? No.
Rascals? I think the Rascals? The Rascals, that's it, yeah. Those guys.
Nash, Carter, and Wes Lee. Okay. They take on the grizzled young vets, James Drake and Zach Gibson. This is the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Final. The winner receives a shot at the NXT Tag Team titles in the future. Who are the NXT Tag Team champions?
I believe that is Biff Busick and his partner, which looks a lot like him. I'm using his indie name because I forget his actual NXT name at the moment.
Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan?
Oney Lorcan, that's it, yeah.
And Danny Burch. They're the Tag Team champions.
That's right.
Okay. Do you care about who wins this match? I don't. I barely know who any of these guys are. Whatever.
Well, it could work either way. Like, either tag team you could believe could challenge for the tag team titles. But it's tough. It's really tough because I feel the grizzled young veterans, they really wanted to give it to them last year. They didn't. So you feel like it's going to be their time now. However, you have the brand new team. You kind of want to push them right. But I think them just getting to the finals, I think that's just going to be it. So I think the grizzled young vets are going to win.
Okay. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez take on Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. This is the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals. The winner get a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. It's kind of a better prize than the men's tournament, right? The men's, they get a shot at the NXT Tag Team Champions. The women get a shot at the main roster champs, Shayna and Nia. So that's cool. I think it'll be Ember Moon and Shotzi because Shayna and Nia are heels.
Right.
Dakota and Raquel are heels too. So Ember and Shotzi, babyfaces, make sense to get the shot.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, it just makes sense. So that's what should probably happen. Also, Ember Moon, like, she was on the main roster, so you could believe that she could beat, like, Nia and Shayna.
Mm-hmm. But are Ember and Shotzi a real tag team? I feel like Dakota and Raquel are actually a team. Like, they will be together whether they win this match or not. Whereas if Ember and Shotzi don't win, I don't think that they remain a tag team after this tournament.
Yeah, you're completely right about that. Again, I would just pick them because they're the faces. I mean, they could still do it the other way just because that's a more established team. And it's NXT, so, I mean, does it really matter who wins? Not really. But again, I'm just going by the whole face-heel logic here.
Patrick C. Hamilton's like, Ember Moon, wasn't that anime? No, you're thinking about Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon was the anime character. Ember Moon is a professional wrestler.
Like,
yeah, she was on Raw. Ember Moon's a wrestler. Sailor Moon was the anime character. Very big when I was in like elementary school. Sailor Moon, very big.
I have some friends that were fans, still fans.
Still fans of Sailor Moon? Grown men?
Yeah, grown men. Yeah.
Ooh. I would watch out for those guys. Io Shirai. Sorry, John. Io Shirai defends the. I mean, come on, grown man. You're into Sailor Moon. Like, what's going on?
Hey, everyone has their own thing, man. I don't judge.
Have they had sex with women? Real women, not cartoon ladies?
Yeah, like one or two of them like have like several kids actually.
Wow. Well, that's an accomplishment for a grown-up Sailor Moon fan. Congratulations. I've misjudged you, Sailor Moon fan. But then again, I'm a grown-up wrestling fan with a family of my own, and people might think the same thing of me, right? Talking shit about Sailor Moon fans. Meanwhile, I'm watching fucking Dominic Mysterio wrestle on a Friday night. So really, am I much better? I don't think so.
Watching the Fiend get cooked. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Jesus Christ. What a dumb fucking show we watch. Io Shirai is the NXT Women's Champion, the Genius of the Sky. She takes on Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. Triple threat for the NXT Women's title. I think Toni Storm gets it here. I like Toni Storm.
No, I like Shirai. I think she's going to retain. I think if they give it to Toni, they're going to give it to her in a singles, not a triple threat. Same thing for Martinez as well.
So, not Toni Storm? Wow. I think they give it to Toni, but whatever. I'm not really watching this show. I don't really care. I just feel like Toni Storm's been around for a while and she's never had the title. So, like, at some point, no? She was the NXT UK champion, but I feel like she was brought over to Orlando so she could be the American NXT champion.
Yeah, one day, just not this weekend.
All right. Fine, John. Maybe you're right. We'll find out at NXT TakeOver. Vengeance Day. I'll be back here tomorrow night for the UFC 258 watch-along. We'll be watching all the fights with you, giving you our picks, talking trash to each other. It's
actually later tonight now.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Thanks for correcting me again. UFC 258, I've got Usman by decision. And my lock of the night is Miranda Maverick over Jillian Robertson. Let's go make some money tomorrow night. Follow our friends over at bet99.com if you want to make some money. You sign up with the promo code Ringside, and you get a matching bonus up to $600. Go to bet99.com. You can also follow our friends over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code Ringside20 to get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Manscaped.com. Keeping you looking good, keeping you trim. Get that trimmer. Get that Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. You need it in your life. Get it right now. Manscaped.com. Use that promo code Ringside20. Get 20% off your order and free shipping. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. You manscape yourself. You look good. You smell good. They got ball deodorant. You say, ball deodorant? I didn't know they had ball deodorant. They do. And you can get some for yourself right now. Smell good on your balls. Get it together. Okay? And that's it, baby. That's it. I'll be back here tomorrow night. UFC 258. Lauren Cronish is like some banana bread. Yeah, I might be eating some banana bread on the show tomorrow night. If you see me eating banana bread on the show tomorrow night, you know it's about to be lit. Shit's popping. That banana bread is strong. It's strong banana bread. You take like a couple bites and you're good to go, baby. What's up, John? What do you got?
Well, I was going to say about the whole ball deodorant, that's much better than doing what Randy does, where he just sprays all the way down there and sprays all over. It's not the best way to do it. I have to say, ball deodorant from Manscaped, that's the best way to do it.
There you go. And that's an endorsement from the main man, Johnny North. He knows what's up. And I saw some weird people on the chat tonight. I think we got rid of them. There was a couple weird dudes. But, that happens. As the show grows, there's always going to be some weird people showing up and saying all sorts of weird stuff, and that happens. But one of them was saying disparaging things about one of our sponsors, so we can't have that on the show. You know what I mean?
They don't like Manscaped? Come on. How
Take
do you
it
not
easy,
like
John.
Manscaped?
Take it easy, John. I don't want to even go back and revisit. I'm just saying. We got rid of those people, and that's what happens. I mean, you can say whatever you want on the chat, but once you start disparaging the sponsors, then you start fucking with the money, and we can't have that. Okay. AJ,
also, Manscaped is great. Like, it just seriously is. If you have a problem with it, we have a problem with you.
That's right. Johnny is dead serious about his manscaping. And Franco316 says, yeah, it means we're getting more attention, and that's exactly right. There's going to be good. And most of everybody is good in the chat, but there's going to be some bad people showing up as the show grows. Hey, we'll be here to take care of that and deal with them, and take it as it comes. We're we're good to welcome anybody and everybody to the show. But if you start talking shit about the sponsors, then we have to do something. You know what I mean? That's just how it works. Okay, go to ringsidereport.net. Follow us on Instagram at Ringside Report, on Twitter at Ringside Report, on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA for me, and Instagram Dave Simon MMA. Johnny North is at North Genesis on Twitter, Genesis Johnny North on Instagram. And that's it, man. UFC 258 tomorrow night, 10 p.m. for the watch-along. Okay? Okay? I'll be here with Freddie and AJ. For Johnny, I'm Dave. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night for UFC 258. I'll be back Monday night after Raw. Johnny might be back with me Wednesday night after Dynamite. So we're getting busy. We're getting busy here on the channel. It's because of our great members like you. Like my man Wally, like my man Douglas Hepburn, like my man Patrick C. Hamilton, like Derek John, like Antoinette, like Craig Paquette, a new member tonight. We appreciate you, Craig. So many guys. Kyle Salisbury. My God. I mean, there's honestly, when we started this thing, I could count the members on one hand, but now there's more and more members. I honestly don't know who you all are anymore. I can't keep track of all the members, but I appreciate you all, and I'm trying to get a list of some of the members here just so I can shout out a few more of the members here on the show, because you guys are the reason. You guys are the reason that we're here, why we're doing so many shows, and we appreciate you so much. I just want to give a shout-out to a few of you guys. Craig Paquette, Leor, Derek John, Kyle Salisbury, Angelo, Doug, Antoinette, Jason, Patrick. I mean, just the list goes on and on. We thank you so much for becoming members. Become a member of the channel right here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget, you could become a member.
Right there.
Yeah, there you go. You could become a member as well by going to donate.ringsidereport.net. There are members. We love you. You see that? The production team, they're watching. They're paying attention. We appreciate you. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net. Keep this channel alive. Somebody's got to pay for the Kamaru Usman pay-per-view tomorrow. You know? We'll be here. We'll be watching. We'll see you tomorrow night, 10 p.m. for UFC 258.
Thank you and good night.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Ringside Report started on the radio, added podcasts, and moved to video in 2019. Our hosts are not just fans, but have in-depth knowledge of the subjects. Become a member of our YouTube channel now and become a recurring supporter of our work as we strive to continue to entertain you in these strange times. Pro wrestler Johnny Genesis North joins lifelong wrestling fan and aficionado Dave Simon to host our pro wrestling programming with in-depth coverage of the WWE, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Our flagship show, Wrestling Uncensored, is live every Friday right after WWE Smackdown. Here, you get a review of the week that was. You may not agree with our host. In fact, they often don't agree with each other. But you have an opportunity to chime in with your viewpoint in the chat rooms while live or in the comments section of YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook on the replay. Dave and Johnny also headline our coverage of major pro wrestling pay-per-views and breaking news. Dave Simon is joined by experienced jiu-jitsu fighters Fred Garcia and the ever-unpredictable AJ DeLesio, each Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Ringside Report MMA. They try and foresee what's next in the octagon and review, argue, and kibitz in a very friendly, irreverent manner. The three guys also team up to accompany you on all the major UFC pay-per-views with entertaining watch-alongs. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.